better have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother...
How's it going, guys? I'm Andrew.
I'm Chris.
And welcome back to Ballers Basement.
Welcome back.
It's great to have you guys back, and today we're doing our second episode of our Path to Greatness series. And you guys know how this works. We go from the worst team in the NBA all the way to the best, and we tell you what we feel each team needs to do to put themselves in position to be a contender, or, what free agents they need to add, if they need to build through the draft more, so on and so forth. We just give you guys our opinions. And Chris, who are we talking about today?
The Phoenix Suns.
The Phoenix Suns. So we're going to look through their roster, say who we feel needs to stay, who needs to go, who should they build around, who should they draft in the upcoming draft, what might be the best move. So Chris, start it off.
So for me, in my personal opinion, Devin Booker is going to be their star. I think they definitely need to keep him, build around, and develop him. That needs to be their number one mission. For the upcoming draft, I think they need to take Josh Jackson. I think he will be their best chance at greatness. I think Josh Jackson has great potential. He's a great defender already. They need to work on his offense, but once that happens, I think he can be a real good player. I think they need to work on building people through free agency. I think they need to get some key players through free agency. I think they need to go for some big men because Tyson Chandler is getting old and he's about to retire. They need to keep Alex Len because Alex Len actually has some pretty good potential. Mm-hmm. And besides that, I think they're pretty much done with big men. So I think they definitely need to go and pick up some big men out of free agency. They have chances at Millsap, Serge Ibaka, Greg Monroe, Nerlens Noel, Mason Plumlee, people like that. And I think that they can definitely have a great team with the help of some of these key additions, and I think that they need to use their salary cap. They're the 25 least team that spent money through the salary cap, and I think that they need to utilize their salary cap more efficiently next season or seasons to come. They can try to build through the free agency, like I've said. And I think that that's definitely the way to go. And I think they need to also keep Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe is a pretty underrated point guard, in my opinion.
I definitely agree with Chris. I do believe that their guy is 70. You already Devin Booker, amazing scorer, great potential, great footwork. He's only 19, 20 years old. Very poised. Just a good overall guy. So I think that is their guy. In this draft, I think they have a lot of options on who they could take. They could take Josh Jackson. He would be a good pick. They could take De'Aaron Fox. If he develops a jumper with his defense, that could be an amazing backcourt. And I think they could also take Tatum. Put him at the 2 or the 3. Also very talented.
Would you take De'Aaron Fox instead of keeping Eric Bledsoe?
I would trade Bledsoe. Personally. That's a fair
point.
Yeah, you could get a good draft pick. I mean, there's a lot of teams in need for a point guard of his talents. You could get some draft picks or young talent back in return. The people that I would look at, I think Booker's your guy. Dragon Bender, I would continue to develop him because he is stretch 5. The guy is 7'1", 225, nimble, has a 3-point shot. He's a Porzingis type, but not that great yet. Remember when Porzingis first came in the league, they said, he's going to be a project, which got a lot of Knicks fans upset, but it turned out that he was just that good already. I think that Dragon Bender is the definition of a project. He truly needs time to develop. He's only 19 years old, if that. I think he could actually be a pretty great player. So I think they should develop him. Alex Len, I agree with you. He is pretty talented, so I would develop him as well. I think Tyson Chandler and Leonardo Barbosa, they're great, savvy, just good overall people to have.
I think they're good people to have on the bench.
Exactly.
Help teach the young talent how to go about being an NBA player.
Yeah, I think that that you should have savvy veterans around to show people, younger NBA players, this is how you go about certain things, this is how you do it in the league, so I think those are pieces that you might want to keep around. But yeah, so for the path to greatness, how I can see them being contenders in the next few years, I wouldn't intentionally tank after this draft. I think that if you get a De'Aaron Fox or a Tatum, or if you get a Jackson, with Jackson, Bledsoe, Bender potentially becoming a very good player, I think that you should just put your effort into developing them as players, build through free agency, and get young players throughout the years, get people that match up age-wise with them to make them a better team, as well as keep a few veterans in the locker room to help them develop as people in the NBA. And I would trade pieces like Bledsoe and Knight. The thing that I look at it is, can I see Eric Bledsoe helping them win a championship in the long run?
I can't.
Honest. I can't. Do I see Brandon Knight? Absolutely not. So when you have pieces like that with trade value right now, while they're still young, they're not young Devin Booker, Dragon Bender young, but they're not old to the point where their value is diminished. So right now, I think would be a key time to say, hey, you need a point guard. Why don't you give me your 10th pick in the draft? Where I could get a player that matches up age-wise with them, and I could develop them so when the time comes, they could actually be a key component in us winning a championship or not.
For Eric Bledsoe, I wouldn't trade for a draft pick. For Eric Bledsoe, I'd actually go for another player that's, around the same skill level. But for Brandon Knight, you can trade him for a draft pick. You can trade him for another player. Either one is fine. But Bledsoe, I would stay away from trading him for a draft pick because Eric Bledsoe actually has some decent talent, and I don't think that would be a smart move. You would lose out a lot.
I disagree on that. It depends on what type of draft pick you could get in return.
If you can get a guaranteed,
if you could get a top 10,
then that's fair. I wouldn't go for a top 10. I would go for top 5.
In this
if you
draft,
end up at 10, I think you definitely lost in that trade.
It depends. Okay, so it depends on the draft class in terms of the pick that you're getting and how high or how low the pick is. And if it's for another player that's just younger and has potential and you think it's a fair trade, then I would do that as well. Or a player in a later pick. I just think you should get something for Bledsoe. But yeah, I think Booker's your guy. The Suns, I think they're on the right path. They have their picks for the most part. They have tradable pieces. They have some assets. They have cap space. I don't think they should waste their cap space and sign like a Gordon Hayward. I just don't think that they're ready to make that jump right now. But at the same time, when they are, they have that as an advantage. So I think the Suns, there's not much that I have to say about them. I think
now I think they need to just stick to role players, developing their talent, and then they can build from there. I don't think they need to rush into it. I don't think this is going to be a 1 or 2 year type of project. I think this is definitely going to be something where it's, going to take a few years. They're in rebuild mode now, and I think that's what's going to be for a while.
And I think they're doing a great job. I think they did a great job taking Devin Booker. Steele. I think they're going to be a good team in the next 3 to 4 years. You never know. They have the pieces in place and they're doing the rebuild the right way. And so far, in terms of draft picks, I think they've been nailing it. Devin Booker, A+. Dragon Bender, A in my book. I've seen his highlights. I've seen his potential. When he gets a little older, gains a little bit more weight, gets more NBA ready body, you'll be surprised to see what this guy can do. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Anything else you have to say on it?
No, that's pretty much it.
Alright guys, so that's episode 2 of The Path to Greatness. Next up is LA, baby. The Lakers. We're going to have that out within the next few days. and I hope you guys enjoyed that one too. But in terms of the Suns, that's what we have to say. So if you guys like this video, please like it, subscribe, comment. We want to know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think the Suns need to do in order to secure a path to greatness? But that's all I have to say. So yeah, I'll see you guys.
Peace.
Peace.